discoveries. Not only did he go on from that North Carolina residency program to lead the 5 research teams that mapped the human genome, the most significant scientific discovery of our lifetime, but he also held one of the longest directorships in history of the National Institutes of Health, appointed to the role first by President Obama and then reappointed by President Trump. His faith decision became a significant turning point, one that not only shaped his life, but, by virtue of his leadership roles in the decades since, the lives of many others. What are hinge moments? There are particular moments in our own lives that are very much like Colin's awkward instant when he had no answer to his patient's inquiry. We realize sometimes in a flash that something has to change, is going to change, whether we like it or not. Collins could never go back to his spiritual complacency. He had to move in one direction or another. What follows these instances will depend intrinsically on the decisions we make and the actions we take. These are hinge moments, opportunities to open or to close doors to various pathways of our lives. Such moments are axial by nature, representing a fixed time, place, or event, with consequences for the rest of our days. Getting them right can change our lives for the better. Getting them wrong can pose problems for years to come. Each of us is given a finite number of these hinge moments in life. In total, they may represent only a few hundred minutes out of our total lives of 70 or 80 years, but they have an outsized impact on the other 37 million minutes of our time on Earth. For Francis Collins, arriving at a better answer for what he believed about the nature of the universe and the afterlife began when he opened the door to exploring the possibility of universal truth, and by his own account, his life was forever changed. But there were actually 2 hinge moments in the hospital room that day. Even as Dr. Collins was encountering a pivotal instance early in his career, that woman in the hospital bed was approaching one of her last. After all, how we approach death, for ourselves and those we love, is itself a decision. Some periods of transition are predictable in their arrival. You plan to ask a certain someone to marry you, and you plan for months, even years, in advance. Or you start contemplating your college decision as a junior in high school. Or you start planning for the birth of your first child, the moment you see a positive pregnancy test. These are the sorts of significant transitions that we can anticipate, even prepare for. Death is the last of these hinge moments we face in life. The hospitalized woman knew hers was coming, and she slept soundly because she felt prepared for it. But some profound changes arrive in the blink of an eye. A beloved family member is killed in an accident, or your boss tells you that your job is being eliminated. And because these kinds of bombshell transitions entail uncharted territory, we cannot always lean on the typical securities of our environment. Francis Collins could not have anticipated the hinge moment that was barreling his way that fateful night. Usually, neither can we. Navigating seasons of change. By the time they have turned 18, most Americans will have moved at least twice. Most 30-year-olds will have moved 6 times. By the end of our lives, most of us will have pushed that number up to 11. This highly mobile way of life is mirrored in our career habits as well. The average American worker holds 10 different jobs before the age of 40, and this job transience is only expected to increase in the years ahead. Add to these the slew of major life changes, such as college or vocational training, marriage and having children, and it becomes clear how many different phases our lives actually have. For all of us, there is only one thing that remains the same: the fact that nothing does. All these major decisions, though different in nature, are the same in that they determine our future trajectory. There are no neutral choices here, no loitering on the threshold of destiny. Each of these moments will either help or hurt us, depending on how we handle the transition between one space and the next. And we're talking about when things are normal. The coronavirus pandemic of 2019 and 2020 turned the lives of millions of people around the world.